Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm here to share my entire drawing process and review some of tools of drawing with you guys. Okay, this video is sponsored by Clip Studio Paint, but as you all probably know, I've been drawing with Clip Studio Paint for over 4 years now and have always used Clip Studio Paint on all my videos since then. So, I am very happy for this opportunity to share my process today. Although I'll be using Clip Studio Paint in this video, most of the content here is not limited by Clip Studio Paint and hopefully you guys too can gain something from this video, even if you use other drawing programs. Now let's get into it. Okay, so here I've been sketching an adult version of my original character. The initial idea is she's wearing a pair of lily earrings while holding a lily flower in her hand. For some object like the stem and leaves here, I prefer to just block out the color instead of drawing the lines because it is easier to get the form right that way. So the way I work is I put on some base colors below my line art, and then before I'm moving on the shading, I try to figure out the mood and lighting I want for the piece. Here I'm aiming for a backlit warm and lighting. For the shadow part, I'm using a blue multiply layers on top of the whole drawing, and for the lighting, instead of erasing parts of the multiply layers, I slowly brush some orange with an add layer above the shadow. If you are aiming to achieve a semi-realistic lighting, it is important to recognize all the object form and contours. So I encourage everyone to practice a lot and look for references for how light looks when it falls on the skins, on the drapery, and on other materials. You'll notice that I tend to add light colors around where the hair meets the skin, and here at the part of the hair that is further from the camera, I do is because of the two reasons. First, it is a stylish choice. I think the lighter colors gives a depth into the picture and makes the layers of the hair more distinguishable. Second, because it is a backlight settings, and it is a backlight setting, the hair strands in the back gets a lot of light exposure. We are going to keep building the hair layers and details. For the eyes, I use multiply layers on the top of the eyes whites so that the eyes blends in white the eyes white naturally. Draw the iris of the eye with a brush that is not 100% opaque. Add the reflection of her eyelashes and the highlights of the pupil and the bottom of part of the iris. Now I'm continue to do more detailing on the face and the eyes. I move the crease of the hair eyelines a bit to the top. Now we can start to shade research. Since we set the piece to warm mood, we'll use warm gray as the mid-tone when shading the search creases. Make sure to keep light shows and the form of the body in mind. It's also important to note and control the hardness of blending just like this. Now some people have been asking to chromatic fringe effect. Chromatic fringe is a line of the shadowless color where light and shadow meets. I used to do it manually by brushing bright orange color lightly onto the shadow line. But nowadays I'm trying to save time. I just use an auto action set by let's bloody on GSP asset stores. Okay, sometimes I also use a texture blending brush so that the blending is not too boring. Now let's finalize the shading by adding highlights to help accentuate the form of the bow, and also add some ambient occlusion on where the bow rests on the shirt. Give some glow on the earring width and add layer to give it more attention. I decided that I want the lighting on the face to be more distributed. So I simply fix it on the lighting layers, and this is why I like to separate the lighting layers from the original colors layers. Lastly, to finish off with the piece, I'm using GSP new liquify function to fix any deformation in the character and adding Gaussian blur to some of the hair pieces to give it some sense of motion. And we are finished. Thank you guys so much if you watch until this point. I learned new things and found new resources as I was drawing this, and I hope you do too. Okay, lastly, thank you again to Clip Studio Paint for making this video possible. Let me know if you want to see more like video this and what topics should